I think it's important to say, no, I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to fight for like what I want and what I believe in, and I'm going to go for it.
How do you stay present in a hyper-connected world? How do you balance health with hustle? And how do you pick your social media platform of choice? We're talking about all of this and a lot of greatness with a very special guest today. Lewis Howes is a former professional football player turned lifestyle entrepreneur who went from sleeping on his sister's couch to launching and selling a 7-figure business, becoming an Olympic athlete, and most recently launching a New York Times best-selling book under the same name as his top-rated podcast, The School of Greatness. He's inspiring millions of people to live their dreams, and you're sure to be inspired by him today. First of all, thank you for taking the time to chat with me because I know you're a busy guy. And congratulations on the book and all the success.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and you're not just Lewis Howes now. Now you're New York Times best-selling author, Lewis Howes. How does that feel?
Yeah, it feels amazing. You know, I almost flunked out of English my senior year of high school, and I never really was a good writer. And I still have challenges today spelling and reading. So for me to put out a book, it's, you know, I had like a whole team behind it, so it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
But it feels cool. You know, I'm really grateful.
I grew up in a professional sports family. My dad was an athlete, my grandpa was an athlete, and I've seen what it can do to an athlete when, one, your sport's ripped away from you, like it was for you when you got injured, or when you retire. But it seems like your identity is not tied to what you do, which in a lot of cases for athletes it is. When you get your sport taken away, you don't know what to do with yourself because you're known as an athlete your whole life.
Yeah.
So how have you managed to evolve past being an athlete into an Olympic athlete, an entrepreneur, a media mogul, a best-selling author?
Well, you know, my identity was wrapped into being an athlete. So for a couple of years, I was going through like a very depressing, emotional time. I don't know if you've ever felt that, but so it was extremely stressful, and it was a lot of uncertainty of what am I going to do the rest of my life. So for a couple of years, you know, I was at my lowest moments, and I think I just had an awakening. I was like, okay, well, I'm broke. At the time, I was sleeping on my sister's couch, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm excited about right now. I don't really have a passion anymore because my passion is gone, and my identity is kind of gone because it was wrapped up in this passion of mine. And so I just said, you know, I need to find a new assignment. You know, I need to find something that is my next thing. And maybe that's for 6 months, maybe that's for 10 years, maybe it's the rest of my life, I don't know. But my sport doesn't define who I am and who I'm being on a daily basis. My energy, my attitude, my mindset. The sport doesn't define that. And I can apply the same things I used in the sport to the rest of my life. So, you know, it just evolved into first getting off my sister's couch to saying, how can I make enough money to afford, you know, my own lifestyle and feel like a grown-up and not have to depend on my family. That was my first assignment. Then it was, okay, I'm going to try to build this thing into something cool and fun, and I built a company and sold that. And then I remember just kind of being like at another crossroads a few years ago, being like, what do I want to do next? What's my next assignment? And how can I take my energy and passion and put it into that? And that's where the School of Greatness idea came about. I was like, I really want to create something inspiring where I can connect with the most intellectual, talented minds of today, learn from them for selfish reasons, but also share that wisdom with the world. And so that's how the podcast started.
And it's, I mean, the podcast, I love the podcast.
Thank
and
you.
Every episode I have an aha moment. So thank you for that.
I appreciate it.
With all of these incredible people that you've interviewed, like the best of the best in every industry, is there any one common theme with all of them that you identify into why they've become great at what they do?
I'll talk about two of them. One of them is the greatest people, whether they're Olympic gold medalists or business moguls or amazing parents, whatever it may be, they all have a powerful, clear, purposeful vision, and they're so focused on the vision. So that's number one. And the last principle is living a life of service.
Can you talk about why it's so important for you to ask people, what are you grateful for? And it's incorporated into a lot of different areas in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can be as angry as a person as the best of them. If I choose to be, right? If I choose to be, I can be super angry or resentful or just pissed off or annoyed, whatever it may be. But I think it's really challenging to be angry and grateful at the same time.
I love that.
It's really hard to be like, I'm so blessed and grateful that I'm in Vancouver in this beautiful city and I get to connect with you.
Yeah.
Or I could say, you know what, the weather sucks today.
It's not great.
It's gloomy, it's cold. I can fixate on whatever idea I want to fixate on. And when we fixate on the negative things, the things we lack in our lives, we are more stressed, we're more unhappy, we're more frustrated. When we fixate on the positive things and what we do have, we become, healthier, happier, more passionate, more energized, more relaxing, more calm, less reactive human beings.
You're human, I'm human, and you're gonna have off days. And I think one of the greatest things that I took from the book is that greatness doesn't mean perfection.
No.
But I think in the world we live in, especially in the online space, there's a lot of emphasis on perfection. So what are your thoughts on greatness versus perfection and the pressure there is out there?
Yeah, I mean, I just eliminate that pressure. Eliminate it. It's not about being perfect. As long as we're human beings, and as long as we're alive, we're going to be living out of integrity. We're going to not be our word. We're going to be late to things. We're going to lie. All these things are going to happen. We may not intend it to happen, but we're going to hurt people. We're human beings. So I think just eliminate perfection as something that is possible. And I think that's actually what holds us back from launching products and businesses when we try to be perfect. You think if Steve Jobs, the biggest perfectionist in the business world that's pretty well known, the first iPhone is a piece of crap compared to where it is now. And if he said, well, I'm not going to release this because it's not where I want it to be yet, Apple wouldn't be what it is. So it's a constantly, I'm always putting something out there to the best of my ability in that moment, taking the feedback from how I'm showing up, to adjusting and then massaging to get it to the next step.
What do you think of the word hustle, though? Do you think it's become a little bit of there's a bit of a negative connotation?
Yeah, in the entrepreneurial world, I think people are talking about it a lot. I like the word because I think it's important to hustle in a positive way. And what I mean by hustle, it's like fighting for your dreams.
Yeah.
And I feel like people give up so much on their dreams. They give up on their passion. They give up on their life. They give up on their health, their relationships. So I think it's important to say, no, I'm going to fight for this. I'm going to fight for what I want and what I believe in, and I'm going to go for it. And for me, I didn't have the business degree or any skills or talents in terms of how to build a business or make money 7-8 years ago, and I was just like, I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to hustle. I'm going to connect with people. I'm going to give as often as I can and learn skills so that I can fight for my dream.
And teach those skills.
Exactly.
Because I can say there's one thing in this book that actually changed the way I operate in my business, and that was delegation, which is not something that is my strong suit because I like to control things. But
really?
Yeah, I know. What? But I thought it was really, really valuable.
I'm surprised you're not behind the camera filming and editing while you're
No,
doing the interview.
Maybe I am. No, thank God I've got a team for that now, thanks to your book. But when the part in the book that you were talking, I think it was Chris Ducker's advice when it's like can't do, won't do, shouldn't do list. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I just thought that was so incredibly valuable.
I mean, there's so many things that we could do, and I look at myself as like a jack of all trades, like a decathlete of life. Where
I like that.
Yeah, because I was a decathlete, and I was like, well, I was never amazing at one thing.
Yeah.
I was never the best at one thing, but I was pretty good at everything,
Right.
And it was interesting because I really wanted to be go to the national championships in college, and I'd done track for a few years, and I was just like, there's not one event that I could qualify for based on the rank, the marking that I need to get to. But my coach was like, but if you did all 10 events, you would qualify if you trained enough. And I was like, well, I guess this is what I'll do. And I kind of look at my life like that in business. Like I pick up a skill pretty quickly to a point where it's like I'm 80, 90% really effective, but I'm not the best at it.
Right.
And so I could do a lot of things in my business right now. I could do every aspect of it if I really wanted to, but it's not going to serve my best ability. It's not going to serve my mission. It's not going to serve my ability to make more money, to support my team and my family and what I'm up to. It's not going to serve my passion and my my unique genius, which I think you talked about. So I try to focus on the 2 or 3 things that only I could do to the highest level, and let go of the rest of the things, and really support and empower my team to step up to a certain level. And it's so powerful. If you want to grow, you need to have a powerful team around you. Otherwise, you're never going to be able to grow to the level you really want.
Yeah, scaling the business. And I think that's a big misconception when people talk about solopreneurs. You assume that means you're completely solo in what you do, but you're obviously not.
It's exhausting doing it on your own. It's exhausting. So,
and you hit burnout, I think.
And you can't celebrate, really.
Yeah.
What do you celebrate all by yourself? Like, we did it, yay,
Yay.
Whatever. So I think it's important to, I always wanted to and some days I'm like, I should just do all this on my own because my overhead's expensive. I'm dealing with women's energy that's just all over the place.
Know your audience.
Whatever you know. No, I'm just teasing. No, my whole team is women.
Amazing.
Except for one man.
That's because we get shit done.
No, exactly. No, every time I'm hiring a position, I'm like, this is the best candidate. This is the best person, and I love the energy and the commitment and the dedication to learning. Women have this. Men do as well, but I don't know. There's something about women. They're very powerful.
And so with all you have going on, even though you're able to delegate and everything else, I mean, you're constantly creating amazing content, you're speaking, you're doing all of these things. How do you stay present?
I think having great ritual and habits in place and constantly expressing my gratitude for where I'm at, it helps me. I'm not perfect and sometimes I'm not present, but I've done a lot of preparation, a lot of work to prepare for where I'm at now in terms of speaking and business and networking and creating things, and I've done over 300 something episodes. So I've learned these skills to kind of accelerate the process of getting ready and being ready.
Right.
So as opposed to used to spend 2 weeks to prepare for a speech, I can literally spend a couple days to be okay, I'm going to use this thing and this thing, and I'm going to talk about this, I'm going to wrap it up. Got it. I've done the work for many, many years now where it's a lot easier. Doesn't mean I could probably put more preparation in things, but with, like you said, so much happening, it's I've just got to show up and just give my best. And I've only got so much time and so many projects that's I'm just going to give my best with each thing in every hour and go from there.
How do you deal with feedback? Because there's two kinds.
I used to hate feedback.
Yeah.
I hated it. I didn't want any feedback, and I'd be like, don't tell me people would give it to me freely, and I was like, thanks
Please don't.
Please don't, because my ego would hurt. My ego would get really hurt. And now I welcome it. And there's probably times where I'm still they don't know what they're talking about, or whatever. My ego is still gonna hurt. But I'm I really need to thank them, because if it wasn't effective for them, then that means I wasn't able to connect with at least one person. And I really need to take that take that lesson and say, okay, maybe there's truth here. Yeah. Maybe there's truth to the feedback, whether it's feels attacking or whatever. There's something, because that person didn't connect with my message or who I was being.
Right.
So how can I connect with every human being in the room, at least in some way, so they had a positive thought, that they connected with something and they take action. Otherwise, it's wasted energy if I show up and speak and not every person connects in some way.
Which is incredible and a testament to you, and obviously you've done a lot of work on that side of things, because the ego can always get in the way.
Trust me, as a guy, ego is the biggest challenge.
It is the biggest challenge. So I'm very curious to know about how you deal with the other kind of feedback, which is there are a lot of haters out there, and I've just started to experience this recently, and I have to say, it rattles me. Even if it's completely unwarranted, unfounded, it rattles me.
I've gotten a lot of it over the years, so I've had a lot of practice at this.
Yes.
And
tell me how you deal with it.
my coach about a year ago, I got really good at just not responding over the years. In the early years, I used to just defend myself with any tweet, any comment on my blog. I was just attack back at them.
Which is what they say.
You don't know
not
me.
to do.
Get off me. You troll, whatever. Yeah. And I remember about a year ago, I left, someone left wasn't really even that bad, but he was just talking about my credibility or something or whatever. And I left a comment trying to defend myself and be well, I've done this and this and this, whatever, just trying to build up what I've done to make it more credible.
Yeah.
And my coach called me within an hour. He said, I saw what you did, what you posted on your site. He's don't do that. Yeah. It's not even worth your energy. Even though I know what you were doing and it didn't look that bad, I see what you're doing and it's not even worth it. All you need to do is say thank you for the feedback.
Oh.
Just reply with thank you for the feedback. Anytime someone comments anything negative or attacking.
Even if it's insane.
Even at that, then just don't reply.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if it's something, you don't have to reply at all, but if you want to, you can just say thanks for the feedback.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, one other quick question. Just I'm very curious, and we've talked about a lot about this in a lot of the content. How do you respond to the "Can I pick your brain" question?
That's a good one. Yeah. A lot of people. I get a few different things. One, will you mentor me? Two, can I have lunch with you? 3, can I interview you? 4,
Which thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. 4, can I work for you?
Yeah.
5, can I work for you for free? 6, can I pay you to work for you?
Wow.
Which happens more and more now, actually. A lot of people are doing
That's
that.
something that you said, though, right?
And that's why more and more people are doing it, which I'm like, oh man, I have to manage this now.
Yeah.
Which seems great in theory.
Yeah.
Like a kid said he was gonna pay me 10 grand for 3 months to work for me for free.
Wow.
Because he's like, I'd rather do that than go to business school. Because I'm gonna learn so much more from you than some teacher that just has us do exercises or whatever. What I tell people, and then some people ask for one-on-one coaching, and I try to scare people away as quick as possible. It's just like, I'm just like, listen, one-on-one coaching is $10,000 an hour.
Right.
Which a lot of people have paid.
Yeah.
And I only take on people that I'm really interested in right now, just because I have so much going on.
Yeah.
Coaching someone one-on-one is going to help blow up their business as opposed to just putting that energy into my business. So what I say is, look, I've got a group mentor program. If you want to pick my brain, here's what it is. It's an 8-week program, and we do like Q&A, we do these things. You can join there. Or my podcast is absolutely free, and I answer a ton of questions there. This is why I do the podcast. Anything you want to ask me, I've probably answered it in somewhere. So if you listen to the podcast, you'll hear it.
Ironically, we're going to go to questions from people now.
Okay. All right.
I'm just warning you, I get some interesting things in my Snapchat DMs.
Oh.
So we'll see
What
how
type of
this goes.
interesting
But
things?
very interesting things.
You want me to play this in the camera or no?
No. We'll put it in post.
This guy's like naked right
He
here.
is, yeah. So
What's up, Sonny? I'm super pumped about your interview with Lewis. My question to him is, if you could choose only 2 social media platforms to be on from today moving forward, what?
What would they be? 2 platforms. Right now it'd be Snapchat and Facebook.
Hi, Lewis, it's Carla. For someone who's in an industry and looking to take it and grow it in the online world, what would be your best tip in getting started and maintaining that?
There's not really one tip. I mean,
yeah.
I would say find someone who's doing exactly what you want to do and hire them to be your coach.
Lewis, my name is Joshua. I know you played professional football before. What are some of the things that professional athletes do right and wrong on social media? Thank you.
I'm not really sure what things are doing wrong. I'm not paying attention to too many athletes currently, but I'd say things you're doing right is to put out great, consistent content behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And showing fans things that they can't see on TV.
Yeah.
That's going to build your audience and engagement and make you more likable, which is going to help you get a bigger contract, help you sell more merchandise, all that stuff. So do the Snapchat behind the scenes stuff that like people don't see, and I think that's going to be a lot better for
Hey
you.
Lewis, it's Elise Starm here. I'm just wondering, what is your favorite social media platform for personal branding purposes and why?
Instagram right now, because you can really shape your message, and I think photo and video is the most powerful way to get your message out there.
Connect with people.
And it's still a huge platform for now.
Yeah.
In terms of branding, Snapchat is not great for like personal branding. It's great for connection and intimacy. But Instagram is where it's at for that.
Okay.
Hi, Lewis and Sunny. My question is around pushing yourselves. What's the most common thing you see that people push themselves too much in to the point where it actually does bad for them?
Too much pushing, not enough sleep. So pushing yourself just in general, where you're just up so late and
Burnt out.
Burnt out.
How many hours of sleep do you get?
Usually about 8. Yeah, so I try to get 8 if I can. I think it's the most important part of our day is how we sleep. Not just sleep, but how we sleep.
Hey Lewis, I have a question. What's the best advice that you can offer someone who's looking to create some greatness in their life?
I would say read this book and listen to the podcast.
Yes.
Because it's just constant. I think it's I would say listen to, not even my podcast consistently, but a podcast that inspires you consistently. Having something positive on a daily basis or a weekly basis you listen to or watch, I think is important for your soul. And I think you gotta constantly feed your soul with positivity.
You are already working on another book, right?
I am. I signed the book deal a few days ago, so
Congrats.
thank you. And this one's going to be a big one, I believe. It's going to be more
This was not big enough for you.
No, this is going to be big. This is actually like my baby. You know, I'm
Yeah.
so proud of this, and I want this to be huge, like timeless for a long time.
Yeah.
This one is going to rip people's hearts open. This is one that Oprah's going to look at and say, we have to have this person on.
I can't wait to
This
see
is
it.
the message I've been waiting for, and this is the messenger that we need. So I'm excited about this specific topic that I'm diving in. I'm excited about it because I'm scared of it, and I think that's why it's going to be powerful.
I hope you guys got as much out of that interview with Louis as I did. And if you want to enter to win a signed copy of The School of Greatness,
You have to share the video, like it. You have to leave a comment that tags me in it, Louis Howes, which is my YouTube, and tell me what you love about Sunny the most. The
wow.
thing you love about Sunny the most and why you watch her videos. And then you have to follow me on Snapchat.
If you like this video, hit the like button below, share it with your friends, and be sure to subscribe. And if you want exclusive marketing tips that I only share via email, make sure that you sign up at sunnylenarduzzi.com. Thanks again for watching. Now go be great.